Best in podcast, the best in town. You wanna get up, get ready to get down. With its big white sky and the wild river Thames, if you wanna go, we can take you there to Great Falls, Montana.
Welcome to the greatest damn town in Montana, Great Falls. I'm Rebecca Ingham, and as most of you know, I've been riding solo for the last 2.5 months. So everyone has probably been aware that there has only been 3 episodes since my beloved co-host Maddie headed to another state. And I do apologize, but you know, it's just not as much fun talking to yourself in a room. And sometimes experts are like, it's not as fun just talking to Rebecca. So that's all going to change. We're going to get back on schedule. We're going to go back to offering you the entertainment you have so needed. And I'm sure you've gone back and listened to every episode that we've ever done, which is great. But today, folks, I'm here to introduce you to my new co-host. Now, keep the cheers down. You're screaming. I know you are. But my new co-host, unlike Maddie, has a face for television and a voice for radio, because she's done at least one of them that I know of. But, to my knowledge, is still no damn expert, Shannon Newth.
No damn expert is right, and I've learned that in my 4 days on the job. I thought I knew things.
Yeah.
Nope.
I think that's the best thing to do, is start a new job to realize how much you don't know.
It's humbling.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's been 14 years. I've been saying this. It's been 14 years since I've had to start from scratch and feel like I know nothing about anything. It's a humbling experience, and here we are.
So in my intro, I alluded to that you have a face for television and a voice for radio. Have you done both of these things or just one of them?
The listeners can be the judges of that. And the face part, I don't know about that either. I've done, television for 14 years. Part of that, I've done some radio hits when I initially started and was giving the weather forecast.
Oh.
We did a couple radio hits back when I first started.
So both.
Briefly, untrained, but it has appeared on a radio. Yes.
There we go.
Mm-hmm.
So, Shannon, tell our listeners just, a small snippet about yourself. You have been on broadcast television in our market for the last 14 years. And most recently, let me brag for you, back-to-back Broadcaster of the Year, right here in our midst, now on Montana's #1 podcast.
No pressure.
We pull out the big guns for you people. So if you're not already in love with We're No Damn Experts, now's the time to fall into love with us.
Please lower your expectations. That title makes it sound like I know what I'm doing. Yeah. No, that was a huge honor. But yes, please lower your expectations for me. Yeah. So I have been, television news, was here at the CBS affiliate KRTV in Great Falls for 14 years.
Wow.
So I graduated from college. I don't know if you want the long, medium, short version of this story.
Let's see what happens.
Let's see what happens.
Our listeners don't care.
People can pause whenever they want.
They haven't had us for 2.5 months. So
you haven't had a co-host. So soak it in. Soak it in. So yes, during college, I interned at KRTV here in Great Falls twice. Long story short, sort of shorter. Spring of senior year of college, was planning on doing television. I decided, don't want to do TV anymore, because right before you graduate, it's the perfect time to decide to change what you want to do.
Yep.
Yeah. Came back to Great Falls. I went to college at Whitworth University in Spokane. Got my degree in journalism and mass communications with minors in psychology and leadership studies. Didn't want to do TV anymore. I applied to, I think, 9 different jobs in Spokane in various capacities, communications. Okay. I was going to go get my master's, go work at a college. That was my plan.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever told you
that.
I
could see you doing that,
Well, thank you.
Thanks
you.
for holding some surprise back, so it's
You're
not
welcome.
so canned of a conversation.
You'll actually listen to what I'm saying now and not tune out over there. Perfect. Yeah, so I was going to go get a master's in student affairs administration, go back and work in a college setting because I just had a really good student life experience at Whitworth and loved the mentoring elements and things like that. So Get home, doors keep closing and closing and closing.
Dang it.
Frustrated. One day I walk into a coffee shop and run into one of our local coffee shops here, run into some of the people who I had worked with at KRTV when I interned. They're like, hey, we're looking to hire people. I was like, oh, that's,
great.
That's nice.
Good for you.
I'm not going to be here. Yeah. A little while later, no joke, the person who was filling in on the morning news doing weather flipped off the camera. Have I told you this story either?
No.
All right, lots of surprises for you. So, we won't name names, things like this. It's all in the past. It was not to the viewers. It was an accident during a commercial break that accidentally went out on air.
Oh, man.
Big boss saw it. That person was, asked to leave. That was a Friday morning. The news director had seen I was in town, knew I had some experience doing weather. Not a meteorologist, had just played one on TV. And they said, hey, we need a part-time morning weather person to start Monday. Can you do it? I was like, well, here I am. The other not so funny part of this was my dad had just been diagnosed with cancer. So I was like, I think I need to be here in Great Falls now.
Yeah.
Then that happens, and here it was. So never in a million years imagined 14 years later
You'd still be
in Great Falls, be going through that journey. But I was able to be with my dad, who ended up passing away, but I was able to be with him, be with my mom through her cancer journey. Thankfully, she's doing really well. My grandma's here in town. Ended up meeting my husband on television. So all of that to say, here I am 14 years later in Great Falls and hanging my hat up on the TV career.
So, in theory, all things work out the way they're supposed to.
Yes, they do. They do.
Now, listeners, this is going to get to be the most incestuous conversation we've had in a long time. And you're going to start to think all those funny stories about Montana are true, like everybody is related.
Yep.
But kind of it is true. So you all may remember a podcast episode we did on the Electric City Speedway. Shannon, you do some, let's call it color commentary.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. Might be wrong, but you do some color commentary at the Electric City Speedway. Interviewing people, being in the winner's circle, I think riding on a trolley one time.
I did that once too. Yep.
And the person we had on the podcast to discuss that was Jason Laird, who is the announcer for the voice behind Electric City Speedway.
Yes.
He was also our sales director at the time, and we talked to him about, so listeners, you're going to remember, the audio didn't sound so super good, and then Jason came on board and he fixed the audio, and it sounds great now because he's an audio guy. It's also Shannon's husband.
There's the singer. Yep, there's the connection.
Surprise!
Yes. Yeah. So Jason and I originally met at KRTV on TV. There we were. Yes, he left and came to work here. Yes, and I thought, may as well follow in his footsteps. Why not? No. But
it's been a full circle journey for tourism, really. We had Maudie and Jason on the team, both meteorologists.
Yes, both I'm sorry. Like I said, I've done weather, but I just pretended, so I'm not an actual meteorologist.
And now we've got Shannon and Callie Jean, who is our sales director. Also cousin somehow.
I was going to say, do we want to mention that connection? Long lost.
Yes, might as well.
Her and Jason are long lost cousins.
So people, when you show up here, I'm the only one who's not related, and we currently have no meteorologists on staff. We were rich with meteorologists. Now
we still have access. I have pretty close access to one if we need one. Yeah.
But it has been a fun journey. You are, like we said, fourth day on the job, but a full week. She started a week ago. It's been 7 days since she's been a tourism team member. And I did tell her when she started, I'm going to give you a week to nest, and then we're going to throw you into the wolves. So there we go, a week, and now you're doing the podcast.
You were serious on your time frame.
I'm not joking, and so much hasn't happened since you've been here. So there's always that benefit.
That's always a good first week on the job. So much hasn't happened since you've gotten here. It's a good review.
Yeah. We haven't been doing a whole bunch, but now that you're here, we're going to do a bunch of stuff all at once.
Perfect.
Yeah. So, I'm going to be a little rusty. You're a little bit better because you've been on camera for a lot longer and had a smaller break than I have. So, folks, we're going to get back into the swing of things.
Yeah.
And it's going to sound better the more and more we do. But when you haven't done a podcast episode for a long time, it starts to get bad.
If it helps, I was on TV for 14 years, but I've never actually done a podcast. So this is new,
so
too.
Strange.
It is kind of strange.
I know some TV stations moved to that podcast episode, but maybe they heard, well, we can't compete against We're No Damn Experts. We're not going to try.
We already have the #1 podcast so in our town. So
here we go.
Why not? Yeah.
So what's been going on since we haven't been talking to you people is quite a bit. Mostly, the rest of the world is having the emergence from COVID-19. And we will only say this one. This is the last time we'll say it in this ever on our podcast. But COVID-19 shut down a lot of events, delayed a lot of things, postponed a lot of things, and that's still happening around the world. And in Great Falls, Montana, it's not even an issue anymore.
Yeah, rocking and rolling here.
Nobody talks about it. Nobody thinks about it. And the amount of stuff that's been announced in the last 2 months of what's happening in Great Falls, this summer, fall, winter, has been insane.
Which is exciting because we've had that break. But this is such a perfect... I mean, we're looking out the window today. Who knows what it'll be when this comes out, right? But it is...
Or this afternoon.
Right. It is the most beautiful, gorgeous day. Like, this is a picturesque early summer day in Montana, and the wind isn't blowing. It's sunny. It's beautiful. We're looking at our landscape of gophers that like to take over the visitors center. Yes.
There are so many gophers in the park. And
it's been a debacle. This is one of the things I've learned in my first week on the job.
Now, I look like a polished city girl, but I am not that at all. And all I want to do, for those of you who are not familiar with I want to shoot the gophers. Mm-hmm. I want them to be gone.
And that's a very country Montana thing.
It's a normal response when you see gophers. So I call our landlord, Steve Herrick, with the city of Great Falls, and I said, so can I just sit out on the deck and plink off gophers? And he said, no, you cannot. I said, then what is your plan for eradicating this population?
I think Callie described it well. It's crawling, like it looks like the ground is crawling with gophers. It's moving.
And the good benefit is most of the people who've been coming in to find out what to do in Great Falls think they're cute.
This is a benefit because if you're not around them a bunch, like, oh, look, cute little animals.
But the other night I was heading out from work. I'm not kidding you. There was 7 gophers that ran away from me.
Oh, I was going to say, did they try to attack you, like gang up on you?
There came a moment when I'm like, I can't open the door too far because they will come back.
Come inside?
Yes.
Ooh.
Could you imagine a gopher in the office? It wouldn't be good.
Some people might like it greeting them.
Ugh.
What would it do to our desks?
I have no idea.
Our plants that are dying. Would it just finish off the plants that are dying in here? We need plant help. That's a separate note.
I'm going to say, before Maddie left, she bought these plants, and I'm sorry.
I'm trying to revive them, but it's not going well so far.
It's not going well.
Yeah. Anyway, so another note there. We'll call Steve on that too.
Yeah. So we can't get rid of the gophers in the manner that I have been taught to get rid of the gophers. So there's a lot of gophers happening in the park. But also we've seen a lot more people coming out. Mm-hmm. The border reopened in April. We've talked about that on the pod. No, we did not. We might have talked about it.
The borders reopened.
Borders reopened for Canada, and that's allowed our Canadian visitors to come back. And we've been seeing quite a few of them in the office, which has been nice just to visit and share. And we've had more guests than we've ever had before in the last couple of years for a lot of reasons. But it's been nice to visit with folks again and, dust off our skills and knowledge about what there is to do in Great Falls. Yeah. And I still find it funny when our guests are like, gosh, you know quite a bit.
Well, that's what they pay me for.
I would hope I've lived here for long enough and have promoted this city long enough that I should probably know some stuff.
You can rattle off a few things for people?
If I wasn't able to, maybe you should write a letter to the mayor and say, hey, your people have no idea what's going on in this city.
Yeah. It is funny that people are surprised at that because that's why they're coming here, right? Are they coming here expecting us not to have
Maybe they're
answers?
Just expecting a brochure for us to go, here's some coffee and a brochure, go away. I don't know.
Some people think it's a rest stop, so they're surprised when we're greeting them.
Yeah,
so
that's the other thing.
That could throw them off too.
Was it this week? Someone came in and was like, is this a rest area? And I just wanted to say,
Does this look like a rest area?
Exactly.
We do have bathrooms. You're welcome to use the bathrooms.
There are restrooms here.
That's not the problem.
But clearly it's not a rest area. You've seen rest areas. This isn't one of them.
You have 3 women greeting you in a nice, beautifully redone office. It's fine. It's the best. Rest area. It's the best rest area we'll ever see.
We are going to be getting signage on the side of the building, and I think that'll help because it won't say rest area.
Not a rest area? Is that what it's going to say?
I should get a sign that says that.
Like a no smoking, but like a no rest area crossed out sign.
No vault toilet inside.
We try to make it smell nice.
So other things that have been announced that our listeners are hearing for the first time because we haven't done anything on the podcast for a while. Again, we're sorry, but you know what? I am going to tell you. I had to produce 3 episodes.
Well, it happened. So
it did.
Yep.
It did happen. And a huge shout out to my friend John Harris, who did the editing, because I can record and I can save files, but I can't put files together, make the music thing happen. Can't do any of that.
Okay.
Shouldn't say can't.
Won't.
Chose not to.
It's not like you're busy doing anything else. Yeah.
So the big thing that I think is pretty cool is we got the announcements for the downtown Summer Jam and the
that is exciting.
4th of July Hootenanny.
Yeah.
So I'll test you.
Oh boy.
Do you know the names of the bands that are coming for downtown Summer Jam?
Well, Rebecca, I'm no damn expert, so going to play that card a lot. I will say on that note, I am excited because this will be the first time that I'll get to actually attend the Hootenanny. Obviously, a news I heard about it, was excited about it, but I worked at 2:00 in the morning, so I went to bed really early.
Yeah.
So I never got to go to any. So I am excited because I want to go experience it all.
So Shannon's been a little bit of a nocturnal human for a long time.
Yes, either early or late nocturnal.
Yeah. So she, is a responsible professional adult and didn't stay up until 2 a.m. when she had to go to work.
Yeah.
She took a nap before she went to work.
I did. Yeah.
So Megan Patrick is coming on June 15th.
Okay.
Scooter Brown Band is coming on July 20th. And then the one I actually knew about.
Okay.
Because usually what I do is once it's announced, I'll find them and put them to my Spotify list.
Yeah. Start listening.
Yep.
Yeah. Get familiar
so I can sing along. I already knew this one, the third one. Cooper Allen, August 10th.
Oh, okay.
How do I know him? Well, Callie Jean thinks it's funny every time I say this, but I found him on the TikTok.
Look at you, such a big TikToker.
I am not a content creator yet, but I am a peruser of created
TikTok.
content.
Okay.
And Cooper Allen's got some pretty good content on
there
TikTok.
You go.
And then the Hootenanny is July 4th. And my husband and I were stoked about this announcement. And I think it's more of a cult following, but Colt Ford is going to be the headliner for the Hootenanny.
I wish people could see her. She looks so excited. She looks so excited. Okay, well, tell me about Colt Ford.
Colt Ford is a country rapper.
A country rapper?
Yes.
I love that concept. I don't know what that involves, but I love it.
He's been on my playlist for years.
So does he rap about things that country songs are usually about?
Yep. The dog ran away, America, hunting and fishing, driving on back roads, drinking. Yep.
Okay.
All the same things.
Just rapping about it.
He raps about it.
Interesting.
And he's done some great collaborations with country artists who've become top 40 artists on the radio.
Okay.
And some songs he's done before they were popular with other people. So Jason Aldean's Dirt Road.
Okay.
Colt Ford did that originally.
As a rap.
Well, as a sing-song rap thing. Both options.
Sing-song rap. Got
and then it was, I'm an expert in music.
Clearly.
I'm trying to remember the artist he did that with. It's like Jamie or something. It'll come to me. It's not really that important. And then a lot of music. So State Fair tickets went on sale.
Yes.
And who are the State Fair concerts?
I know a couple of them.
Let's see how many you get. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5. Let's see how many you get.
Well, I know 2 for sure off the top of my head because I'm excited about the Beach Boys coming. And then I think Dwight Yoakam is coming.
Yes.
And I know that because Jason was excited and it's on my birthday. So
are you guys going to go see him then?
I don't know. We'll have to figure that out. I'm more excited about the Beach Boys, just personal preference. But
I'm excited about Dwight Yoakam.
Mm-hmm.
He was popular when I was in high school.
Okay.
So I do appreciate his music. But then he retired from music and did movies. And I love him as an actor.
Really?
I think he's really scary as an actor.
Is that a compliment?
I don't know. Because in his music, he seems nice and approachable and fun-loving. And then the people he plays sometimes are pretty dark and twisted. And I'm like,
well, that means he's a good actor then,
I do like that. Yeah, that's what I'm going with.
Okay.
So I'm excited about Dwight Yoakam. In addition to Beach Boys and Dwight Yoakam, do you know the other 3? Or there's 4. I'm sorry.
As soon as you say them, I will. Those are the 2 off the top of my head.
Okay. There's 4 more because I lied. There were 6.
Okay.
Mini Pop Kids.
Yes. I remember hearing about that.
And I think that's the young kids who do popular songs.
Okay.
I'm not into kids.
Neither one of us are. Yeah. So
it's a new gap in our system here.
It is a new gap. I'm sorry. Yes. Monty had a small child. I do not. So but I've heard that that will probably be a good thing for parents and kids. Yeah.
Cheap Trick.
Okay.
So if you're a rocker from back in the day, and I mean back in the day, I think 60s, 70s.
Okay.
Maybe 80s.
Did you just offend some people by saying way back in the day in the 80s?
Probably. My husband's one of them.
Okay.
Sorry, sweetheart.
Does Robert listen?
I don't think so.
Okay. All right. That's fine.
But he does often sometimes say, hey, did you hear this? And I'm like, yeah, you heard it from the podcast that your wife is on.
You're welcome, but thanks. You were really memorable, obviously.
Chase Rice, who's an up-and-coming, a little bit newer country artist.
Okay.
So some of you younger folks might already know who he is and have a large following there. And then, drum roll, the last act, Skillet.
Ah, that's right. I do know some people who are really excited about Skillet.
Skillet is a Christian rock band.
Yes, that's right. They started out as a Christian rock band. I don't know. Are they still categorized as a Christian band? I haven't listened to their music lately, so I don't remember.
I think I only knew them as a rock band, but that's where they got their start.
Started out that.
Which is really cool because last year they brought in for King and Country or of King and Country.
Yeah, of King and Country, I think.
I just say King and Country.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's what I know. And I know they're getting a little more mainstream with their country music as well. But more Christian based, and did a great duet with Dolly Parton on the TV that I watched one time.
On the TV.
The thing that broadcasts, which I have learned is pretty funny. Kids about 20 to 25 don't watch TV.
Okay.
So I was talking with an artist a while back, an up and coming artist, and they were watching this new series on Netflix called New Girl. And I said, that's a really good series. I'm sad it ended. You've gotten through the whole thing yet? Or you've gotten through the whole thing? Yeah, I watched it.
Like the show
when it aired.
Zooey Deschanel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just brand new show for them on Netflix. And
I do love that show.
I don't think we should have any more conversations. It's not going to go very well.
You're not going to make me feel good about myself.
No. And I'm just going to question society
as a whole. Well, they thought you were cool because you'd gone through the whole series.
Yeah, I'd already binged it.
Yep.
I didn't binge it. I watched it live when it happened.
Yeah.
Every Tuesday or whenever it came on.
That's okay. Now you can say that you binged it over the course of you long
6 years.
Yeah. That's a long binge, folks.
The Voyager season has opened.
Yes.
And they've won both of their home stands.
Good deal.
So that's a multiple games. So they're getting it off to a good start.
Yeah, we like to see it.
Our annual meeting's going to be next week at the Voyager. So it's going to be pretty good. We're going to finally watch a game.
Yeah, that'll be good. Get the group together. Get your own little suite, don't you? They have they offer those suites that people could come if you want to have a meeting beforehand. I've been there for graduation and birthday parties too.
Oh yeah. Yep. So my voice is getting weak because I'm not used to talking.
It's okay. Take all the breaks you need.
We've got a long ways to go because a lot's happened.
All right, buckle up.
Lewis and Clark Festival got announced.
Yeah, that's always a great event.
Now, the big thing is June is hectic, and one particular week in June is extremely hectic. So that's going to be a note if you're just listening now for whenever this airs, because I don't know when that happens. June is going to be very busy in Great Falls. So that's going to be a difference from other Junes where it's easy to get a room. May not be as easy to get a room in June.
Okay.
Lewis and Clark Festival is June 17th through the 19th. Horse racing, back in the swing of things. There are 7 race days. July 16th, 17th, 23rd, 24th, 29th, 30th, and 31st.
Of July, not June.
July.
Okay.
Correct. See how good you are? That's 3 full weekends of horse racing in July. Big Sky Pro Rodeo was announced. And that's going to be happening August 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th. That's during the week, and it's also part of the Montana State Fair. Really fun rodeo. Big names, like the people you would see at the NFR.
Yeah, these are big deals. Like the rodeos we get through here, this one, and then the circuit finals in January. Those are big deal rodeos.
Yeah. They're famous people. Might as well be famous.
Yeah, I mean, any rodeo you come to around here, any time of the year is going to be fun. It's going to be enjoyable. You're going to get all the rodeo action. But these are no joke. These are big names that come through.
And as a reminder, they don't just happen every day.
Right. Don't expect to come go find a rodeo.
Wyoming.
Unfortunately, not every day.
And a powwow doesn't happen every day.
Right.
So if you need a refresher, go back and listen to our episodes on powwows and rodeos.
Your rodeo episode with Maddie was one of my favorites when you talked about mutton busting.
Oh yeah.
It's a good one.
One day I really hope Micah gets to ride
Yes.
sheep.
I'd like to see that video. Yes. A mutton.
And then this weekend ish kicks off the Montana High School Rodeo Association Finals here in Great Falls, June 7th through the 12th. It's actually next week, but that's going to bring a bunch of the top high school talent, which will eventually probably become circuit finals talent and Big Sky Pro Rodeo talent. So get to see them before they're famous.
Absolutely. And also the rodeo queen, that contest is part of that event too.
Can't do it without the queens. They're the spokespeople often for the entire sport and the industry, so that's good. Probably one of my favorite games is back in Great Falls on June 18th is the East-West Shrine game.
That's always a fun one. It rotates through Great Falls.
Yes. Go East.
Showing your bias there. We are in the East region, so it makes sense. Yeah.
I had to check before I said go East because I thought maybe we were in the West, but no, go East. We're East.
You had to check your alliance
Great
there
Falls
first.
and heading East.
Yes.
So we're good there. And that brings in, interestingly enough, 2 athletes from Canada as well to participate in the East-West Shrine game.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, I didn't either until until I was part of some of the conversations that happened about that.
I will say too, so the Shrine game, football game, you think of the football players, but they also have cheerleaders that you have to audition for to be, or try out for, I should say, to be part of that. I say that because as a cheerleader at Havre High School, I was a backup.
Oh,
so
you were close.
I tried out. I did okay. So I didn't make the team, but I was right there. If somebody got sick, I was in.
Oh, so that would have been a pretty awesome experience that you didn't have.
That's my Shrine story. That would have been a neat experience I didn't have. Now I can just say I almost had it. Yeah.
Well, we've got free tickets if you want to go to the game
and try to sneak down and be a cheerleader.
Yeah, I think you'll still fit in.
So probably shouldn't wear my Visit Great Falls name badge on that one.
We'll make you your own Visit Great Falls cheerleader outfit.
There you go.
Yeah.
That won't make me look like an idiot at all.
Nope. You're gonna have to pick up the slack on the things that I would ask
Maddie do this?
She was
Micah could have done that. She could have pulled that off.
We sent we sent Maddie down to Highline Climbing Center to be part of our sponsored athlete team, to be part of the rock climbing competition they had.
There you go.
She didn't do well.
Well, at least the bar's low for our
but we've got another
endeavors.
event that's coming up that I think you'd be a great sponsored athlete for. So that's coming up in this podcast episode. So stay tuned.
Okay.
See what we
I'm
come up
nervous.
with. Yeah, you should be. The Montana Brew Fest happens June.
Is this the event you're talking about that
No.
I can be a sponsor at?
I'm going to be that one.
Oh, you're that sponsor. Okay.
Yeah, I'll be the sponsored athlete at the Brew Fest.
Okay.
It is Montana's largest brew fest, and that happens on June 11th, and it's the culmination from Craft Beer Week, which all those activities have been announced. Also, FYI, folks, if you want information on all the things there are to do in Great Falls, you can go to visit greatfallsmontana.org. And I'm sorry for saying this right now, but we had a small, minor catastrophe with our events page on our website. So there's some stuff up there, but a lot of stuff isn't because we had to kind of rebuild it and revamp it. So over the next couple weekends, we'll be getting all those events back up there. So if you know there's an event happening and you can't find that information on our website, give us a call, 406-761-4436. Somebody will answer the phone and talk to you about it.
Great.
I don't know who, and it's just going to be fun. We got announcement of all the Wild Montana's wilderness walks. And why we're excited about that is it has a leader that takes you on these walks.
Those are great.
Which is a heck of a lot better than trying to figure it out on your own if you're going for the first time. And they let people from outside of Great Falls participate.
Yeah, you don't have to be a resident. You don't have to, really say where you're from beyond just them being interested in. They're really nice because, especially even if you live here, you have relatives coming, you want to take them for a hike, you don't want to deal with bears on your own or trying to find a trailhead on your own or the expectation or, the leader will have a first aid kit if you, like me, somehow injure yourself while walking. Like, these are really good ways to get out and explore and get to know the area more in a less pressured, feel more secure, kind of safe environment.
Yeah, and so when you find that they're happening, it's a lot easier because we'll help people who are in the office. They're like, how do you get to this trailhead? And you're like, well, I don't know how to tell you this.
Yeah, you can tell the general direction, but sometimes the specifics are hard.
You're going to have to look for it. So this, you wouldn't have to look for it. You could sign up and they would take you and help you and you'd be good. We are sponsors for the International Scout Expo. That is happening in Great Falls, June 16th through the 19th. And that's going to have like 1,300 scouts.
Wow.
All through our town.
We'll be in good hands that weekend.
Yeah. So if you're going to get out and explore, do it that weekend.
It's that weekend.
They're going to be everywhere.
Scouts.
In addition to that, Ned Ledoux is going to be here on June 19th. Now, you all might be thinking, that's no Garth Brooks. But he opened for him.
Oh, hey. Look at you with more musical knowledge.
And it's Chris Ledoux' son, so our partners to Wyoming. They produce some good musicians and good rodeo people. So Ned Ledoux's going to be in our market singing his songs, which is always a good time. And then one of my favorite events, Flight Over the Falls.
Ooh, yes.
Happening July 23rd and 24th. Have you ever been up in one of the planes?
I have. So 3 years ago, 2019, I think
Sounds
is when they
about
were
right.
here last.
Yep.
Or when that event happened last. When I was working for the TV station, I got to go with the Army's Golden Knights up in one of their planes that they were parachuting out of.
Oh my gosh.
Which was an incredible experience. So in true Great Falls fashion, it was a bit too windy that day for them to jump. So we went up twice that day. They weren't able to jump, but I got to be there on the ground when they, put their suits on, loaded into the plane. And then I'm sitting on the plane. So my dad was a private pilot. So I've been up in all kinds of, small planes.
So being in the air is not abnormal for you.
Right. No, it's not. And it doesn't scare me, things like that. I want to skydive someday. Like that's on my bucket list of things. But I will tell you, I got to sit, so the plane, I don't know how to say this without using my hands and knocking the microphone. It's not set up like a normal commercial plane. It's like if you were to picture a military plane, maybe, which I guess it makes sense. It's the Army.
Yeah.
So it's a smaller, mid-size, like private jet kind of size plane.
Okay.
But the seats are parallel to the side of the plane. So it's one big bench, basically.
Okay.
along the side with...
So you're not staring at somebody's head. You're staring
you're
at somebody's
staring across
face.
the plane
Yeah.
at somebody else. Yeah. So when you take off, you're not facing forward to start with. You're
Ooh.
sideways. And then there's also 2 openings in the side, like towards the back end of the plane, because that's where they jump out of when they parachute. So they have me, I'm sitting on the bench sideways right next to the opening.
Oh my God.
Right next to this. So taking off in a plane, granted, I'm also holding a camera trying to get video as we're taking off.
Right.
It is such a strange feeling to take off sideways with a huge open door right next to you. I'm like checking my seatbelt, like this is strapped in, right?
Constantly gotta feel like,
yeah, because I'm like, if I move, like I'm going out that door right there.
what am I gonna grab on
Right,
to?
nothing.
Yeah.
And I mean, that Golden Knight's going to have to fly out the plane after me and hope we're high enough he can make it to me in time. Such a cool experience. Even though they didn't get to jump, that's, one of the favorite stories that I've gotten to cover, getting to go up. I was hoping I would get to strap on to one of them and jump out of the plane.
Oh my gosh.
That wasn't a thing for me to do, but I got to go up in the plane with him, sit right there, peek out the window. I mean, such a cool experience. So,
That's so awesome.
granted, I don't think, they sell tickets for that type of thing,
No.
but that's my flight over the falls experience.
Way better than the lame story I was going to tell about my niece and I hanging out all day for it.
No, I wanna hear it. Let's hear it.
We'll save that for another time.
Okay.
We can't. I can't follow that.
Well, thankfully I didn't, fall out of the plane, so it wasn't that exciting, but
But still cool. You got to go up.
it was a really neat experience.
The we're gonna jump back into live music. The Beacon Ice House Summer Concert Series has started today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it started
It's underway.
because this is not live. And the Beacon Ice House is right on the Sun River, and they've got this outdoor concert area, grassy knoll stuff with
Yeah.
food trucks and stuff. Really neat experience. I've not gotten down there during the concerts yet. I've just seen the setup. So
Yeah, and
Folks.
if you have a boat along the Sun River, you can pull up on the shore there.
you can
Listen that way.
Quite the experience, and they've got just a bunch of music happening.
They have a big lineup this year. They have
yeah.
some bigger names coming, I think, later
They
this year
do.
too. Mhm.
You're completely right. Do you want to try and guess which one I have on my list?
I know there's one that Jason, again, is really excited about, and I'm
think it-
totally spacing on it right now.
I think it has to be this one because it's Shenandoah,
Yes, that's it.
September 1st. I'm super excited
Yeah.
about that.
That's the one.
I'm
I don't
a
know
sucker
much
for old country.
Yeah, and Jason loves that too. And
Yeah.
a friend of his lives in Nashville, is really ingrained into all of that. So we're hoping he has some type of fun
Connections.
band connection there or something.
Woo.
Yeah.
The Montana Cup Soccer Tournament is going to be in Great Falls, June 12th. Another June thing.
event.
Callie Jean actually worked with them to make sure they could have a nice time here in Great Falls, and there's going to be a ton of kids here for that tournament. So kick hard, folks. I don't know what they say in soccer.
Go team.
Electric City Speedway is racing. That kicked off already. We've got all of their events on our event page on our website. That I know for sure. And then more flight stuff. Flying Legends of Victory Tour starts June 22nd here in Great Falls. And you
Those
can
are neat.
find those up at Holman Aviation. I've not seen this one, but I did do the Spirit of Freedom one.
Yes, the
Did
one
you
that
do
was
that
a couple of years ago as
Yeah.
well. Yeah, that was really neat. It's surreal almost to be walking through, because you walk in, you can touch,
Yeah.
experience
They're
being in
like-
that plane.
They're like flying museums.
They really are. Yeah, and it's pretty incredible to try to picture what these people went through that were, used these planes in war and overseas. And yeah, it's pretty incredible.
And to contrast and compare to the planes that we have today is really interesting. We had the opportunity of hosting the Berlin Airlift Veterans Association here quite a few years ago because we were the training grounds for that mission.
Yeah.
They spent 3 weeks in Great Falls learning how to fly into Berlin.
And that was back when Malmstrom had the flying mission.
Yep, that's true. Right after World War II, and then they shipped over to Germany and they flew into Berlin. So the planes were smaller, they were different, they had completely not the same technology. Weird. And so it's really interesting to see that. Now, I'll be completely honest, big surprise. I'm not sure what we're going to see on the Flying Legends of Victory tour, but it's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
I know that.
Yeah, like you said, flying and grounded museums is what they are.
Right. So get out, experience that. And then they even have people who have flown those planes, like in their heyday, there to give you stories.
Right.
Which is even cooler.
It is.
Let's jump ahead to August.
Okay.
11th, 12th, and 13th. Do you know what is happening that weekend?
It's right after my birthday and right after Dwight Yoakam is here. That's what I know.
Big River Ruckus.
Ah, yes.
This is the newest festival event in Great Falls. It kicked off last year. It's got a little bit more blues, some red dirt country, national acts. You may not know who they are unless you're a follower of some of these music.
Mm-hmm.
And so I didn't know who most of these people were, but again, researched, found some of their music. Pretty
Added
good.
them to your playlist.
So part of the lineup for Big River Ruckus is Shiny Ribs is coming. And I know nothing about them. But they're a really popular, well-known blues band.
Okay.
So
I do love blues music, actually.
And last year's music was phenomenal. Quality music. And you could just enjoy the whole thing. It's set on the park. The backdrop is the Missouri River. It don't get much better, folks.
No, those are wonderful summer nights when you just sit there, relax by the river. Mm-hmm.
So Shiny Ribs, Jason Boland and the Stragglers. They were here last year. They're coming back.
Okay.
They're out of Texas. Tommy Castro and the Painkillers going to be here. I don't know them. This one I do know. Susie Bogus. She was a very...
Did you find her on TikTok as well?
I didn't.
Okay.
I got her cassette. One of my first tapes was of Susie Bogus.
Aw.
So
Love
another
it.
90s country artist.
Okay.
Just after my own heart. Paul Thorne is going to be here. Go ahead and squeal when you know one of them. Chuck Mead. And then John Roberts Ipan Blanco.
Okay.
That's probably
I'm sure it's all going to be great. My husband is the vast musical knowledge. I'm like, oh, I like that song.
Yeah, that's a
what
good
I know.
song.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what you're going to get at Big River Ruckus, just a lot of good music. We should probably do an episode about Big River Ruckus. We'll just
there's
see.
more than just those musical events too.
And if you got someone who knows a little bit more about it, they can share a little bit more of their excitement than me just listing it out. And, maybe you're listening and you're squealing because you're like, oh, my God, I love Paul Thorne.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Great.
He's going to be in Great Falls.
Yes, come see him.
Sorry I don't know more about him.
Yeah, none of my musical knowledge should be based on, how excited we should be just because I'm a bad gauge for that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Buffalo Kite Festival is back July 8th and 9th.
I went to that last year. Really neat.
Really awesome. Big kites.
Mm-hmm.
And as you mentioned, there's some wind that's here.
A little bit.
Makes kite flying a little bit fun and easy around this time. And this is the event that I really want you to be our sponsored athlete in.
Oh, dear. I forgot about it. I forgot I was supposed to be nervous.
The Knuckle Buster obstacle course.
First off, the name. Fantastic name. Knuckle Buster. Yes.
Knuckle Buster obstacle course is going to be July 16th, and we don't have to tell you anything more about that because we have an episode coming up with the creators of the Knuckle Buster obstacle course.
Mm-hmm.
And they may correct me when they're here, but it's a Spartan-like race, and we probably can't use that word.
It's probably trademarked. They probably can't use it either. But I get that feel that it's a similar concept where you have obstacles. It's intense.
And you're going to crawl through mud. You're and it's going to be up at Showdown, so you're going to go uphill.
Elevation changes.
Oh, man. It is going to be awesome.
I wonder if there's fire involved. I know some of the other races. My best friend just did a Spartan-type race recently, and she had to jump over fire at the end.
I think that's great.
I think it's great too. I will say, I don't know if I'll be ready in time for this year.
But you're a runner.
Yeah. I'm currently very out of shape runner. And the obstacle thing is a whole different set of skills and muscles.
Truly.
But, yeah.
I think I am prepared to bust my knuckles, and that's about it.
Okay. On the beer that you're going to be
crushing.
Cans? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's what I will help
for
you
your
celebrate.
Sponsored athlete event. Yeah.
Another thing I'm kind of excited about, just because it's another musical act that doesn't always maybe make it to a market like Great Falls.
Yeah.
And again, not everyone's going to know who this is, but Buck Cherry is coming August 9th. Now,
I remember Buck Cherry.
Buck Cherry's not for everyone, kids.
No.
It's more adult content.
Mm-hmm.
But really, name brand, bigger group. I'm pretty excited to see them here in our market.
Yeah, it is fun to get. And a variety too, because I think sometimes people think it's just country events or country acts that come here, and that's not true. We get a variety, or a country rap like you were talking about earlier.
Colt Ford.
There you go.
We bring the culture.
Country rap culture.
We aren't Montana's base camp for art and adventure for nothing.
That's right. Get ready for the country rap. I'm just excited to hear what country rap is.
Yeah. Colt Ford's pretty good.
Yep.
So this is an interesting, we talked about adventure. Now let's talk about art. The Russell auction, which has traditionally happened during Western Art Week in March at Charlie's birthday, is been moved to August.
Yes.
And it will be August 18th, 19th, 20th, and 21st this year. And likely next year as well, it'll be in August. So look for the development of a new art festival that happens around that time. We haven't fully named it, and we haven't fully talked to the people in charge of some of the names. But we're leaning towards some type of arts festival name.
Nailed it. Arts festival. There it is.
So hopefully we'll have some people in and have meetings off the air.
Yes. Yes.
And figure out what we're going to do there. But the Russell is happening August 18th, 19th, 20th, 21st. There's also going to be other art exhibits that are happening. There's going to be a street dance that happens along with it. There's going to be food available, maybe some more Western food.
Okay.
I don't know all the details, but I'm excited to learn about it. And we'll be getting you those details as soon as we know about it.
Yeah. So a lot going on in August, too. So you could have kind of one last push vacation time before kids go back to school.
Right. That's a really good plan. We can help you plan right here. High Valley country music artist coming on August 21st. Women's Expo. This is getting into the fall. Women's Expo is coming September 30th, October 1st and 2nd. And the Women's Expo is just a really fun, I'll call it a trade show because that's what it is. I don't have to call it that because that is what it is.
What is. That's the
bunch of booths. You just go through, learn about new products, services, all designed for the woman in your life. So that's either you or someone else you know.
Should
then something I'm pretty excited about because I've been following them for a long time. Comedian Josh Blue is coming to Great Falls November 19th.
Ooh.
I started following him 10 years ago.
Okay.
And he is a comedian with cerebral palsy and makes fun of the fact that he has cerebral palsy.
Yes. Okay.
Which
I know
then
who
feels
you're talking
awful.
about.
Feel awful about laughing about it, but
he's the comedian. Yeah. No, he's a great comedian.
Yeah.
I've seen some of his videos. That's exciting.
So he's going to be here in Market November 19th.
Okay.
So those are the big things we know about right now. This is
a lot.
Obviously not everything we know.
No.
We're not damn experts, but we do know some stuff.
We try. I mean, going back to earlier, that's what, you're paid to do.
Yeah.
Come here, learn about things, tell you about the area.
Don't be surprised when we know stuff.
And when we don't know stuff, don't be surprised then either. Yeah.
Yeah, because, we like to surprise people by knowing things, even though we get a little cocky and we're like, yeah, we should know stuff. There's a bunch of stuff we don't know. So please don't make fun of us when we don't know that either.
It's true. It's true.
So, Shannon, episode 1.
In the books.
Yeah.
On the air.
I think we did a good job.
We'll leave that up for our viewers. We'll see how many keep listening after this episode.
Which makes us really want you to rate, review, and subscribe.
We love it when you do that.
It makes us happy, but mostly just tell your friends and get to Great Falls. That's what we really want to know. So as we close out this episode, no, this is just the beginning with Shannon Newth. She is going to be our new co-host. She's going to do a wonderful job. Probably bring a little more professionalism to this establishment than we've ever had before.
You didn't tell me that was part of the gig. Oh, boy.
Tighten up your bootstraps, folks. It's going to get real. So until we see your bright, smiling, happy face here in Great Falls, we hope you are having an amazing time creating memories with your friends and family.
We Are No Damn Experts is the recorded claims from Great Falls, Montana, covering what you need to know about this amazing damn town. Damn, that that felt good.